Welcome back to Gaelic Games Fan TV. UL are the Sigerson Cup champions for the very first time in their history. They have beaten UCC 17 points to 111, and this is going to be the match reaction. This is going to be the breakdown after UL get over the line in the Sigerson Cup final in Croke Park as well. Look, firstly, to have the Sigerson Cup final in Croke Park, absolutely brilliant. I think great for the players, for the supporters, and everything else. Maybe not great for the supporters to travel down on a Wednesday evening and everything else, but nonetheless, I think great to have it in Croke Park. And look, I think it was a great game of football. Look, all things considering, with the weather here in Dublin at the moment, which has been horrendous across the country really, but it has certainly been quite bad here. So you're kind of wondering what type of game are you going to get. But to be fair, I think both colleges served up a good game of football, in my opinion. And, I thought UL, to be fair, had the majority of the possession, controlled the tempo of the game, had a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities, played some really, really positive stuff from the likes of Keane McHale in particular, who I thought was the best player on the pitch, 5 points. He was very, very good. Frank Irwin as well, Cathal Ryan, Conal Dawson. A lot of young Mayo footballers within this team, and I think in particular, if you're a Mayo football fan and you've watched how Mayo football have played so far this season and how well they've played, and then you're seeing a couple of these lads lining out who haven't yet played for Mayo this season, you'd be kind of thinking, well, do you know what? There's something to be positive about, something to even be more positive about. Because, yes, some of the players there I thought were very, very impressive indeed in terms of how they played, their link-up play, the patterns of play. I thought you could see the structure in terms of how they wanted to play. You could see the running off the shoulder, players moving into space. They were far better, I thought, on kickouts as well. UCC didn't have as much possession, but they were more off the cuff. They were very direct in terms of how they played. And the amount of goal chances they created in this game, I mean, goodness me, they must have, if XG was a thing in Gaelic football, UCC probably would have had maybe, 4 or 5 XG. Do you know what I mean? They had 4 or 5 big goal chances in this game. And to be fair to the UL goalkeeper, Tristan O'Callaghan, like, he made a number of big saves in this game, all at crucial stages as well. In the second half, like at different stages in the game where it felt like UCC might be able to get a big goal or kind of, turn the screw a little bit. So, fair play to the goalkeeper there. He was absolutely brilliant. And it was a mad game, like just one goal in the game. But there was a lot of goal chances. There was a lot of goal opportunities. And neither side could really, take the opportunities or take the chances, in fairness to them. But it did feel like UL could have always kind of had UCC a little bit at arm's length. The goal was obviously, a kind of significant moment from a UCC perspective when it did go in from Kieran Santry, and you were kind of thinking they might, they might be able to kind of turn the screw a little bit. But I always felt like UL were the better side, especially around midfield as well. Cathal Brosnan and Brian McNamara, I thought, were brilliant. In particular, Brian McNamara had a fantastic game. There was one moment as well where he chipped the ball up to himself whilst running at full speed, and I thought that was an incredible bit of skill. In fairness, and look, fair play to UL and fair play to David Power as well, the UL manager. Probably, in my opinion, one of the most underrated football managers out there, in terms of what he achieved when he was manager of Tipperary, winning Tipperary a first Munster title in 85 years. And now winning UL a first ever Sigerson Cup title. And, I do often wonder if we'll ever see him back in intercounty football management, because I think he is a top coach. And I think he's proven that in terms of what he's been able to do. He won UL a league title as well earlier in the year. And, UL, certainly, when you look at the names and the players there, they wouldn't be maybe as renowned as maybe some of the other teams going into this competition. When you looked at some of the other teams in here in terms of DCU and Ulster University and things like that. But look, UL have got over the line. They maybe needed a bit of luck against Queens in the semi-final, in terms of the late drama and everything else that went with it. But in terms of this game, there was absolutely no luck needed. They were by far the better team, in my opinion. Okay, in terms of some of the scorers then, looking at it from a UL perspective, first of all, as we were saying there, Key McHale with 5 points. You did have Kieran Collins with 2 points as well, Frank Irwin, Cathal Ryan, Conal Dawson as well. Like, the thing that impressed me the most about this UL team was just the link-up play, the movement. Very, very impressive stuff, and you could see how well coached this UL side were, in my opinion. Looking at it then from a UCC perspective, as we'll see here, Connor Daly with 3 points, Cormac Dillon, who was very impressive as well with 2 points, had a very impressive game. Kieran Santry with 1-1, Michael McSweeney with a point, he had Tom Cunningham with a point as well, Rory Murphy with a point, and Austin Murphy in between the six there with a goal as well. And UL actually got a big impact from Dahi Hogan coming off the bench. He actually scored 2 points as well. Very impressive Tipperary footballer. I've seen bits of him with the Tipperary under-20s and also with Tipperary this year, and he looks a very, very good player indeed. Looking at some of the comments here, Faithful Podcast, how are we, my man? He says UL Abu. Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to all the UL faithful supporters and ultras and everything else, because it's a huge moment obviously for the college, and look, could do the double as well. Let's not get it twisted. I'm not too sure who was the last college to do a double. Has it ever been done before? I don't know. Maybe someone can let me know in regards to that. But very, very, very impressive stuff. Kickouts, absolutely immaculate. Like, they missed probably a good couple of chances in terms of shooting wise. A couple dropped short, a couple went wide, but they were the better side. They kept possession very, very well, managed the game brilliantly. And look, they maybe relied on a couple of moments of luck from Tristan O'Callaghan in terms of the saves. But look, they well deserve that. They well earned that. There's no disregard to that. And look, fair play to UCC as well. They had some big opportunities, as we were saying. Maybe towards the end of the game, they could have. They didn't really work any 2-pointers around like that. Like, Cormac Dillon had one that went wide. They maybe could have worked a better goal opportunity or a better goal chance, but weren't able to. In fairness, but yeah, massive moment from a UL perspective. And look, great to have a bit of Gaelic football on a Wednesday night. We obviously have the Fitzgibbon Cup coming up on Friday night as well, so that should be interesting to see. And yeah, I think even if you're a Mayo supporter or a football fan, that is from a county of any of where these players are from, I think you will be quite excited. And as I was saying there, I think Key McHale, absolutely outstanding. Cathal Brosnan as well. And yeah, UL played some very, very good stuff. I mean, the second half probably there was a little bit of a lull at times. Like, there was a couple of missed chances, and it did become a little bit cagey, more so maybe in the first half. But there certainly were still some top performers. So yeah, look, let us know your thoughts, your opinions in the comments below in terms of how the game went. Let me know who your man of the match was and all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for the Cooley Media preview show. Myself, Liam, as we saw there, we'll be there hopefully as well, and we should have a full house hopefully. We'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, tune in, and we'll speak to you all then.